what are some important factors, or here are three important factors you should consider when you are shopping for a monitor, rather that's buying brand new or upgrading your monitor because you're maybe looking to, up your resolution. You're either looking to up your screen size or you're looking to, increase your refresh rate. All three of these areas are areas you should look over with great scrutiny when shopping for your monitor. Three areas you should take into consideration when buying or upgrading your monitor, right? Like Tricion mentions, refresh rate equals more skill. And yes, that is true. And I have some examples of why that is, right? And overall, if you understand how refresh rates work and how monitors and just overall how monitors work in general, because in my opinion, they are machines on their own. And it's quite impressive. But yeah, resolution, screen size, and refresh rate, right? These three things, when you're buying a monitor, or maybe you just built your PC, or like Bad Habit mentions, I'm still on a 60 hertz monitor, which is fine, believe it or not. Like I would pull it up now, but I don't like to reference it all the time, so this may come off a bit contradictive, but I don't necessarily like to reference the Steam survey without the disclaimer of recognizing and acknowledging that it isn't entirely indicative of the PC gaming community, because you can opt out of the Steam survey, even if you may use Steam, or maybe you've never even knew about the Steam survey and you just never had it, enabled this whole, your whole entire time. But if you look at the core Steam audience, which are, in my opinion, users who have opted in to the Steam survey, 60 hertz is very much still the popular refresh rate among gamers, right? Still very common. Everything else is considered, is considered enthusiast, if you will. Darkness Place says, hi, what's happening, Darkness Place? Welcome to the Inside the Lab weekly live Q&A. I believe we had the opportunity to talk, or I don't think this is your first time, but I stand corrected if it is. Welcome to the live stream. We're talking about refresh rates and how to better understand it if you are in the market for upgrading or buying a new monitor. Now, resolution. We're going to do a quick refresher, a quick primer, if you will. We're going to do a quick refresher, a quick primer, if you will. 1920 by 1080, most common, right? Let me switch here. Let me bring up our helpful chart here. This is kind of like a primer from that live stream, but we talked about resolutions, right? You have 1920 by 1080p, which again, referencing the Steam survey, is still the most popular resolution among gamers right now. 1440p is just starting to climb up to double-digit figures, with 4K barely in the 1 percentile of gamers. So it's very niche. But you have 1080p, which is clocking in a little over 2 million pixels, right? It's like 2,073,000, something to that extent, right? For the sakes of simplicity and to keep it simple, we're just going to say an even 2 million, right? We'll round up. We'll round up. We'll round up. But 1080p, full HD, right? As you can see here on our chart. A little over 2 million pixels. Then you have 2560 by 1440p, and a resolution that is becoming more and more popular here as technologies advance and GPU, and GPU processes and what have you. The resolution is becoming more and more popular as you can, game at 1440p and on modest settings with a sub $300 card. The best PC to build in 2021. I'm sorry, nobody wants to be stuck in 2020. But the best PC to build in 2021 video we did that was under $900. That we benchmarked that game at 1440p, and we benchmarked that system at 1440p, if you will. I'm sorry. And the 1660 Ti was able to handle, quad QHD at modest settings, at like medium settings, depending on the game. So the hardware to power the resolution at an affordable price is becoming more and more popular. But 1440p is my preferred resolution if I'm not gaming at 2160p for fully immersive games. But I personally game on 3440 by 1440p. But 2560 by 1440p is the sweet spot indefinitely, in my honest opinion. That's clocking in at a little over 3,700 or 3,700,000 pixels. Here we go, fam. I can't count today, but a little over 3 million pixels. Um, so you get higher pixel density, better detail in your graphics or what have you, and then you have 2160p, 3840 by 2160p, which is 4K, which is coming in at 8 million pixels. So yeah, you get the idea of 4K and 2K, and then you have 1080p, which is just full HD. But your resolution is something you'll take into consideration. Your screen sizes now, like Tricion mentioned, more refresh rate equals, makes you more competitive in so many words. And that's true. Keep that in your back pocket because we're going to revisit that topic a few more times here in this conversation. Even if you don't play games competitively, you'd be surprised at how a high refresh rate can enhance your experience if you play single player games like myself, for example, but maybe they're fast paced or they're action paced story, first person games. But some of the most common and competitive sizes at 1080p is between 22 inches and 24 inches, and about the 144 hertz to 240 plus hertz range, right? For immersion and content creation, this is why myself, I use a 3440 by 1440p monitor. It gives me a lot of, space to have more than one window open when I'm editing or just working in Photoshop or working in Premiere or what have you. It's just amazing to have the extra, the extra width or the extra space on your left and right, and it really helps with gaming too when I'm playing Fortnite. But a common screen size between for a monitor for content creation, 27 inches to 34 inches is a good spot to be in between. Like even my monitor is a 34-inch MSI optics Mag 34 1QC. So really that's a general good spot to be in because those monitors normally come in at a fresh rate of 100 to 120 hertz, with even some 2560 by 1440p monitors clocking in at a little past that at 144 hertz. Now, if you want more information on some of those different kind of monitors, that live stream I referenced earlier, you can find all the monitors we talked about in that live stream over in that description box below. So yeah, jumping back over, and